Wake up, wake up.
I'm up. Honey, what's up?
Come on, let's do this podcast. This is your boy Ab. I'm chilling with my co-host.
Dana.
And we starting off this year 2017 with a fresh, new, exciting podcast by the name of Too Woke. And we're going to be talking a little bit about everything on this podcast, from life to love to family and everything in between. It's going to be exciting. It's going to be fresh. It's going to be something for all you guys out there that are interested in learning a little bit more about
Men, women,
relationships, money, finance, politics, religion. It could be anything, you know what I'm saying? So we're just going to get in depth in certain subjects and topics, and we want everybody out there to interact with us via email and contact us and give us feedback on what's going on.
And open your eyes and ears and just listen and comment and interact with us so we can all bring each other closer and deeper into what each topic of the day is. And
yeah, and we're our goal ultimately is like to bring people together, man. Because we all share common stories, common backgrounds and experiences, and so we want to give the people a little bit of our background and experience throughout this podcast, and hopefully you can draw some things from it that will help further you guys on in life, and hopefully you guys can share with us a little bit about yourselves so that it can help us grow as well as a couple. So we started this podcast as a couple because we felt like coming together as in a marriage and doing something like this will help keep our marriage fresh and also
in turn help other marriages
as well, and bring us together closer as well. And so the podcast is called Too Woke. And where did we come up with the name Too Woke, baby? Like, why did we say Too Woke?
Because although we're one, we're still two people, two individuals going through different situations in life individually, but we both have a broader, how do you say, outlook in life. And so we're coming together as two people, but we're still one, and trying to understand life together and trying to just improve in every aspect of our day-to-day lives. So there's a lot going on with our new presidency, with violence, hate, with love, and divorce rates, and the social networking. So we just kind of want to bring to people's attention everything that's going on in the world and how we can cope with it and how we could manage all these situations together as not only a couple but as a people, because we're all going through the same thing, whether we're black, white, gray, blue, we're still going through the same
blue, really?
Yeah, we're still going through the same things in life. And we can come from different backgrounds, but at the end of the day, we're living in the same country. And you can be upper, lower class, middle class, but at the end of the day, we are one. So,
and at the end of this podcast, not just this episode, but the whole entire podcast, we want to bring a sense of awareness, hence the word woke, because we want to be able to, if you were asleep prior to this podcast, joining us in this podcast journey, we want to awaken you. You know what I'm saying? And at the same time, we're awakened as well. So that's where the Too Woke came from. And so today's topic, we want to talk a little bit about, I titled it myself, and I didn't even give Dana a chance to even contemplate on what she's going to talk about to keep that freshness in the air. But today's podcast is titled The Honeymoon, When the Honeymoon is Over. And so, because I hear a lot of people talk about how when relationships start, whether it's they just dating, boyfriend, girlfriend, or even in marriage. It's always like this honeymoon state where you think the person standing across from you is the perfect person. They don't have no flaws, and then shortly all hell breaks loose. And then you're looking at this person like that's your enemy, and you wonder like where did the love go? You know what I'm saying? Like that song goes, where did the love go, and how did it get to this point? Like when you were so happy and you were still caught up in each other, like you called on the phone every night and you talked to like 2 o'clock in the morning. You know what I mean? You went out on dates, and you did special things with people, little text messages here and there in the middle of the day to let the other person know you're thinking about them. Like all these different things that people associate with the honeymoon stage of a relationship. You know.
I think it all has to do with the level of comfort. Once you get comfortable with someone, you know, you think that they're supposed to just understand you and your ways, and you guys got together through a purpose or for a purpose, and now that you're together, you deal with like the everyday of life and living and providing, that you forget the person, and you forget what the person needs, you forget what the person wants. And so
I mean,
like
sometimes it can just get boring. Like, keep it real. You know what I'm saying? Like, you go through stages, and some people, like, you have jobs. Everybody got jobs, and you got responsibilities. And so, but it's never that's never a legitimate excuse, because like you have to keep it in the back of your mind that you know in order to keep this fire burning, you got to constantly add wood to the fire. You feel what I'm saying? Like if you expect that fire to continue to burn for the next however many years you decide to be with this person, like you can't not put no wood into the fire place and expect it to keep going.
okay,
You know
so
what
we're
I'm
a newly married couple, and I feel like our fire burns in and out continuously.
saying? Really in and out.
Yeah, like we set the fire loose, like, so the fire is blazing for a good while, and then it fades, and then it
Me,
blazes again and fades. Like, how do you keep it consistent to where, like, even though the fire's fading, like, how do you make it to where, like, we or the other individual understands, like, okay, like, it's gonna happen again. Like, I'm gonna get hit by the flame. Like like how do you let the other individual know, or like what's the expectations, like, you can give to, like, the other person?
well, I think you just gotta you have to be conscious of it. A lot of people just lose focus of things. You get caught up in your day to day and you lose focus. I think you have to be conscious of your partner. So like even and do it. Don't do it when times are bad, because now you got to remember you do it when times are good too. So like even in the midst of something going on like your relationship's going good, you think of something small, like I'm gonna stop by the store and I'm gonna pick up something for her that you normally wouldn't do. Just like we was talking to a relationship pastor before we got married, and he used to tell us like do something special for her, not something that the whole family is gonna
Something I
partake in.
wouldn't something I wouldn't expect.
Yeah, you know
And
what I mean.
and I feel like, ever since he told you that, like, I've been waiting for, like, flowers.
What do you mean? I try to do stuff like that. You don't think I try to do stuff like that every once in a while? I mean, what is the long pause for?
I mean, like, I don't know if it's a woman or man thing. I think as women, like, we know, like, now that we're, like, in a family setting and we have to not only take care of, like, kids and the finances, we know we have to take care of our husbands. So even though, even though we have a lot on our plate already, I feel like we do balance everything out as much as we can. But if we don't get that same effort back from our mate, like it's really hard for us to give our all.
Yeah, I
So
agree.
yeah, I feel
I
like
agree.
we do expect more from a man, who's the head of the household, who is supposed to like be our knight in shining armor. I feel like we do expect more from you. Like we already know how to hold things down. I feel like not only do we expect you to hold things down for the family, but us more importantly, like it's kind of like you need to energize us more. Like you give to us as women so that we can do more for you and the family. Like we need
I
that
get that.
battery put in us occasionally, and I feel like when we don't have it, like, and it dies down, that's when the conflicts start.
Yeah, I get it. Happy wife, happy life. So the saying goes. I get it.
Okay.
I understand. I mean, I understand that concept. You know, but I think coming from a male standpoint, like dudes, like we out here doing so much to provide for our families, and is some people you can call it an excuse if you want. Um,
Excuse.
yeah, whatever. But we out here and we provide. We bust our asses out here to try to provide for our families, man. To take care of our kids, provide security in the form of money, to provide security in the form of food, emotional security, mental security, physical security, financial security. You know what I'm saying? And it's a tiring, wearing job. And so as men too, we need like a pat on the back. We need a little affection so we could keep going, and something to remind us to say, you know what? Okay, well I'm like firing on all these different cylinders, but I got to remember to keep this one fired up too, which is to give you guys attention, or when I say you guys, I mean you, attention and affection and stuff like that too. You know what I'm saying? To do something special for you every once in a while, or to take you out, every once in a while. So I understand that that's a basic, that's almost like a necessity that women need to have. You know what I'm saying? It's not even just like a want, it's a need. And I get that, but I think speaking for the fellas, men, we have needs also, not just wants. We have needs also that help us maintain what we do on a daily basis, so that we can give that to you. So I think, I mean, and just listening to us talk, I think it's like it goes kind of both ways. Men need things from women to keep us motivated to give you more, and vice versa. You don't think so?
Oh, definitely. I feel like it's a people talk about percentages when it comes to relationship, but I feel like it's a 50-50, and if you don't give 50-50, then there's always an issue.
But it's like you have to be real with yourself. Like, being we're human beings. Like, I don't expect you to put up 50% all the time. That's like expecting Michael Jordan to come out there and score 80 points every night. Like,
I feel like why
just some.
not?
But my thing is, like, because it's not reasonable expectation. Because some
If
some
you're
days
giving
or some
if you're
nights
giving 50% to your job, if you're giving 50% to
we
your
don't give our
kids,
jobs 50% all the time. You know what I'm saying? And what I'm saying is, as a human being, like it might just be a day that I'm worn out, I'm beat down, and I just won't have it in me to give you that affection that day. And it might be the same thing for you. You understand what I'm trying to say? It might be a day that it's we might be going through something at the house, and I go to work and I don't give my job 100% like I normally would do, because it's just I'm going through a tough time, or I might not give my kids the attention they need this day because I've been preoccupied with something else. And so we're never going to be like 100%, that 100% of that 50% that you're talking about. You feel what I'm saying? And that's just a reasonable expectation. So
well,
I
I think
don't.
that all boils down to communication, because I think that's what the
Yeah,
issue
I
is
agree. I agree.
nowadays, and
I agree.
in relationships, which is why I feel like there's so much divorce, because no one knows how to communicate, and we've learned that it's not only
We're still
communicate
learning.
it's not only communicating to hear what the other person is thinking. It's communicating to, like, actually understanding what your partner wants and needs. Like, you have to actually understand it, because if you don't understand it, then there's no point in talking about it.
Yeah, but I think I agree. I agree to that. But I think in understanding, you have to. Somebody has to communicate to you in order for you to understand. So it's how you relay your message. that is gonna determine whether somebody is gonna understand it or not. You feel what I'm saying? Like if I'm trying to get you to find something and I hide it in a place where it can't be found, and I expect you to find it, it's not gonna and then I get upset with you because you don't find it. It's not like that. That's how communication is. Like, you have to make it so that somebody can understand it. So if and you have to deliver it in a way that people could respect it, because if you deliver it in a way where you barking and screaming and yelling at a person, they're never going to listen to what you're saying. They're always going to be defensive because it's more about how you're saying it than what you're saying.
Okay, just
You know what
know
I'm saying?
if a woman barks and screams and yells at you, like it's not in vain and it's not like out the blue. Like it's something that was already said to you that you just didn't get or understand.
The first time.
Yeah. So it's like if we had agreed on an argument or situation before, and you say, okay, like, yes, I get it, I understand, but then you really just didn't understand or get it, yeah, we're gonna bark and scream because at the end of the day you didn't understand and get it. And I feel like of course, like, we're just totally different species, because I feel like we are really simple. Y'all try to make us to be so complicated, but we are simple. All we want for you to do is listen. Listen to us. Listen to our needs and our wants and stuff. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like, you guys only listen if it's talked about amongst other men or other people. You allow other people to actually let you actually let you get it, than rather listen to us.
Yeah, I think we do, because but you have to, it goes back to the environment and how we're communicating. So it's easier for me to listen to somebody else if we're just laughing and joking, and that camaraderie. It's a friendly environment. You feel what I'm saying? But if it's a hostile environment, if it's an environment that feels like a lot of pressure involved, and it's a lot of pointing fingers and blaming and yelling and screaming, that's an environment that men normally, like, we don't deal with that type of stuff well. So we automatically, like, shut down. So we're not even listening to what you're saying. We're looking at you and looking at how your behavior is towards us, and then we ultimately, all we do is we turn the gun around and back on you and treat you with the same type of behavior. So it's like we don't even get an opportunity to listen to understand. So even though I get you being mad, and I get women being upset and mad, but all you gotta do is, like, and I know it's probably is easier said than done. All you gotta do is just, like, take 10 deep breaths and say, you know what, yo, baby, listen, I told you like this one time before, and it just hurts me that you don't listen or you don't understand.
Well,
like, I don't have no beef with you.
That never works in the heat of an argument anyway.
Well,
Let me tell you, world. What works for us, honestly, is communicating, because we're both really good at communicating via email or text messages, because you could really get your point across without the other interrupting. So you just cut me off, and I just, like, but I feel like that has been, like, the basis of our relationship since we've been together. Like, we're two different types of people, but we're really the same as far as our emotions and our thought process. So, like, it's really hard for both of us to get our point across. So when we mend our issues, it's usually via text or email, because you could scream, we literally tell each other off, and it's not always good, but like, we tell each other how we feel, and then it allows us to think a bit, because confrontation is not something that we both really want in this relationship. So texting and emailing helps us communicate better, and it helps us understand each other better. Sometimes just to get over, like, the hump that we're in at the moment. Of course, like, things always arise, and there's always other situations we go through, but we're really good at communicating our feelings, and I feel like that's important. A lot of people are scared to, like, let others know how they feel about themselves.
But you know what happens, and when you do that, all you're doing is you build it up. You build up anger and you build up resentment towards a person, and then when it comes out like a windfall. Like it just comes all out at once, and then the other person's like, "Yo, where is all this coming from?" You know what I'm saying? Like then you look like the crazy person. But I think a key point that that helps to avoid those type of confrontations is sometimes you just got to speak on it when it happens. The actual second that it takes place, or you think about a situation that's a problem, it's important just to speak on it right at that second.
Or if you see that the other person is feeling uncomfortable about something, because you have done that. You have,
yeah.
If you know, once you get to know someone,
But that's what I mean.
You see
if
how
I feel
uncomfortable
if I feel
they
uncomfortable,
are.
I should just say something. You feel what I'm saying? Instead of holding back and not wanting to create a confrontation.
Because I have an issue of being really like, anti and not talking, and that's my issue. Like I would go around and not say anything, and like carry this burden and attitude around, and he's my husband and he knows me by now, so he senses my feelings and my distress. So he does come to me and ask me what the issue is, because like your mate always knows when there's an issue. So
but if you I think the best time to address an issue is when it's the minute it happens, and the reason that is because there's less emotion involved. Sometimes it is, but to me, it's less emotion involved at that moment than it would be if you don't say nothing and you let it build up. You know what I'm saying?
This is our co-host. Sorry for the
my extra co-anchor.
Yeah.
Baby's easy. but anyways, like I think the addressing a problem when it takes place, I think is important, because you don't give it an opportunity to fester and build up, and you just destroy it right there on the spot. Because I look at it like these type of problems, they ain't nothing but negativity and the devil trying to come in between, the relationship. And if we stand up to it the minute it takes place and destroy it right at that moment and work it out, it's gone. You know what I'm saying? And then you don't walk around and harbor feelings, because that's why so many people get in arguments, and then your spouse is always bringing up old stuff. You know what I'm saying? I know people don't forget. You know what I mean? We might forgive, but we don't forget. But at the same time, you bring a bunch of old stuff is because you still harboring those feelings because you never let them go. But only because you never addressed it when it initially happened, and you can argue it out or whatever situation is right there and just let it go. You know what I mean? So I think that's important, man. You know what I mean? But that goes.
So I was gonna say. So let's bring the topic back around as far as
to the honeymoon being over. So like all of these things point to.
Yes, the honeymoon stage does end, but I feel like there's always something better after that, because in the beginning everyone is always on their best behavior. And everyone is always doing above and beyond, who they really are, and I feel like that's excellent, because you gotta win in life anyway, so you might as well try to win to fight for the person you want to be with. I feel like there's nothing wrong with the honeymoon stage. There's nothing wrong with like overdoing for your mate, as long as long as this is the person you want to be with. As long as there's an ultimate goal, which is forever.
I look at it like it's similar to copping the Benz. Most people, because they want a Benz so bad, or they want this type of car so bad, you work really hard to go out there and get it. You know what I mean? Which is the same thing you do when you trying to bag your shorty, you trying to, wife this particular female up. You know what I'm saying? So you go hard, you go extra hard to cop the whip, and as soon as you get it, this particular woman,
yeah,
and then once you get it, then comes in the maintenance, then comes in the taxes, the insurance, the the oil changes, the tire rotations. You feel what I'm saying? Like you got to get it tuned up here and there, and this, that, and the third. And that type of stuff costs money. So it's easy to get it, but it's harder to maintain it, pretty much. And so don't change the oil in that V12 that you got, and see how long you're gonna keep that car. You understand what I'm trying to say? Like, don't do certain things. Don't keep the transmission fluid full in that AMG that you just copped, and see how long you keep it. And that's the same thing with a relationship. If you don't continue to put into it and maintain it, it's gonna fall apart just like that Benz. And guess what? You're gonna be trading in for something else. You
And
understand what I'm
always
trying to
have
say?
to be aware. You have to be woke. You
gotta
know,
be
like
woke,
you
man.
have to understand what it takes to maintain a relationship in each other. Like people just nowadays don't know what it takes, and it's just really simple because all it really takes is
It's not. I
time.
don't think it's simple. You think it's simple? I think it's simple. You have to know your partner.
As women, we think it's simple because it's all it takes is time. It takes time, consideration, and appreciation. Like, you know, we don't want too much, but you know, we want to be recognized. We want to be loved. That's not a lot.
It's not a lot, but I look at it like this: every woman has a different set of things that they deem they need to be happy. So
Okay, we talking about this woman. I don't know what every other woman.
no, I'm not talking. Okay, well, I'm not talking about every other woman. I don't know every other woman, right? I'm talking about my wife. But at the same time, it's like because if the only way for me to know what's going to keep you happy is to know what makes you happy. Because what makes you happy is not going to necessarily make another person happy.
So you have to ask questions like, babe, like what makes
what
you
do you
happy?
like? What do you?
Yeah.
You understand what I'm trying to say?
How
Because
can
if I don't
make
know,
you happy?
yeah, if I don't know, how
and
am I
he's
gonna
good
do
with
it?
that. He's
You know what I'm
good
saying?
in asking, like, how can I make you happy? Because I'm
Go
a
ahead, say
creative.
it. Go ahead, say it. You could.
No, but I'm a creative individual whose happiness relies on myself. So it's like if I'm not happy within what I'm doing with myself, then you know it's hard for me to be happy and have a happy home. So I have to always be active and doing things I love in order for my mind to be right at home.
So you admit that I could be doing everything right and trying to
No.
make you happy, and it's
No.
if you're not happy within yourself, then right or wrong.
Okay, maybe.
You
I'm not
know?
gonna say no. I'm not gonna say yes.
Because ultimately happiness comes from the inside. You know, it's not an outwardly sought after thing. You know, we can't seek to others for happiness. It's something that God instills within you, or something that you have to learn to find within yourself. Now, other people in our lives, they can support us in being happy. They can maintain peace and tranquility and all that other stuff in your life, but they can't make you happy. Because if that's the case, then the minute they go to work or the minute they're not around, then you sad again. And if that's the case, then that's not real true happiness. You know what I mean? Yo, I don't mean to change the subject, but remember the other night when I kicked my toe going up the steps? Don't you know, like, it almost broke my toe? My toe was, like, turning black.
Okay, because that's not abnormal. If you hit your toe on something, that's gonna happen.
Yeah, but it's just turning up now. Like, it's just turning black now. Like, why all of a sudden? Like, you would think it would
Because
have
it's
happened.
bruising.
Yeah, I know you guys don't want to hear about my toe issues, but...
Yeah, men are just such babies when it comes to stuff. We're so much
Whatever.
tougher women.
Okay.
Okay,
Just
with
'cause-
everything.
Just because you can have a
You know, when they
10-pound
get
baby
sick-
makes you tough. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. Thank you. Yes, you gotta push that out of you, a 10-pound baby. Yeah, that we are actually tough. Because I'm sure you can't do that.
Yeah, get kicked in your balls and see how tough you are. You know what I mean?
It's the same. No, it's not the same.
You'll never understand. You know what I mean? That's the thing. But back to the honeymoon thing. You know, I think it's important that the honeymoon gotta stay on throughout your relationship, man. You know, a lot of
we
dudes
gonna fall off,
a lot-
and
but-
it's okay to fall off, but always make sure you get back on track.
Yeah.
Like that's really, really important because you know, at the end of the day, we are individuals coming together, and you gotta make sure you live your life and be you, but just don't forget about your priorities.
Cause you know, a lot of dudes, like I used to be like this too. That you know how people, like if your friends call you one night, right? You could be single, and your friends call you one night, and they say, He's like, yo, let's go out to the bar. Let's go hit this spot up. And if you ain't got no paper in your pocket, you be like, nah, I'm good. Even though they be like, you know what, I got you, bro. Don't worry, I'm a cop all the drinks and everything. You be like, nah, I'm good. You know why? Because as men, and I think people just in general, they don't feel comfortable knowing that they ain't financially got it like that right now at this point. You feel what I'm saying? So you have to, you know, sometimes men, we feel like, yo, we wanna have everything right. Like, so if I want to treat my lady to a nice dinner, that's in my mindset is like that's what my goal is to do is to treat her to a nice dinner. You know what I'm saying? And so sometimes you might have the paper to do it. So instead of taking her out to a dinner, I just wait until I get the paper to do it. But in doing so, that time goes by and she's sitting back like, damn, this nigga ain't take me out the first, man. He ain't took me out in the last 2-3 weeks. And in my mind, I'm saying to myself like, yo, man, as soon as I get that extra little bread, I'm gonna go do this. But what I had to learn is that, you know what? Bump the expensive dinner. You know, just do something small, something that don't really cost a lot of money, just to say like, yo, man, I'm thinking about you. Or you know what? I wanted to copy you that expensive dinner the other night, but instead, you know, I went and bought some lobsters from the supermarket and brought them home. You feel what I'm saying? Like a substitute for the extra, because you like in my mind, I want to do something big for you, something big. But if I'm financially not right at this point in time to do it, then I'm saying, you know what, I'm gonna hold off until I get the money. But in that holding off that period of time, you sitting back like, you know, you ain't doing nothing for me.
That comes back to communication, because if you.
But a man, sometimes men, we got pride. We don't be like, yo, babe, you know, I ain't got it right now. You know what I'm saying?
But we respect that more than not doing it. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, let us know the real, because we could accept the real. Like, you can't have so much pride and ego and think that you know you can say, you can think that you want to do something bigger than what you're doing, and to us it's like, you're not doing nothing.
Yeah, I get that. You know what I mean?
So you got to communicate that to us. Like, you got to say, like, this is what I wanted to do, but I couldn't because. And then it's like, okay, at least he thought about it. Because, you know, ladies, we always want to be in their head, and we want to know what they thinking, and we want to know what they doing. So.
Miss Cleo? You ain't no Miss Cleo, man.
I am.
Miss Cleo gets paid for her services.
Didn't she die?
I have no idea.
Rest in peace, Miss Cleo.
How you gonna kill her if you don't know if she's dead or not? If any of y'all listeners out there,
let me see if
any of y'all listeners out there know if Miss Cleo died,
I'm about to tell you in 1 second. Did Miss Cleo?
That's crazy. Like, how you gonna Google did Miss Cleo die?
Look,
somebody else Google it.
Exactly.
Wow. Miss Cleo probably in Jamaica right now.
She died July 26, 2016.
Wow.
Rest in peace, Miss Cleo.
Maybe you got a free slot now. You can take a slot. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because you know I am psychic.
Okay. She thinks she's psychic, y'all.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like,
but I not been right? Tell them my spirit, babe. Like, let them know the truth.
Okay, like you have like, I don't even know the word to call it. Like,
I call it a sense of God. God puts in.
But everybody got senses though. You know, everybody has an intuition.
People don't know how to use them.
Everybody has an intuition. They can pick up on the vibe. You know, when your spidey senses is tingling. You know, everybody has. Yeah, Spider-Man. You know, everybody got those type of vibes. You feel what I'm saying? But I think, and I'll give you a props. You got a little extra something that you can kind of pick up on people's vibe and stuff like that. But I think sometimes you take it too far. Like, you really think that you.
Yeah, I think like everyone's the enemy. I'm gonna lie.
You understand what I'm trying to say?
Everyone is the enemy to me.
It can't be an enemy, and not everybody's an enemy. Right?
Everyone is the enemy of the state.
But you can't walk through life thinking everybody's an enemy. You know what I'm saying? Because that's where you
push people away.
Yeah, you push people away, and you live in a bubble. Like, you can't live in a bubble.
But I like my bubble.
Yeah, but that's whack though. The bubble can't.
Whoever likes their bubble, please email us and be like, I am okay with my bubble.
I don't know.
Comment us.
I like my bubble, but I like to get outside the bubble too sometimes. You know what I mean? You gotta shake it up. You know, and that's another part of keeping
I feel like if we're safe in our bubble,
stage,
we'll be safe in this world. As long as we are doing us and living our life
you're living
and
in the world.
enjoying our life.
You in the world regardless, whether you're in your bubble or not.
Yeah.
You gotta exist. You know what I mean?
But you could be in the bubble, like I'm in my bubble, right? And I see someone and be like, hey, just don't touch me. Don't say nothing to me. But I'm still in my bubble.
Okay.
I could be friendly in my bubble. Just give me my space. You know what I'm saying?
And for y'all out there who can't see us, like she got her hands up, like
In my bubble.
like she's a mime.
Like I'm touching my
you know
bubble.
what I'm saying? Crazy.
When you gonna call me crazy?
Well, not literally. I'm just saying, you know, it's just crazy.
It's okay.
But
I don't mind being a little crazy. You have to be a little crazy in this world nowadays.
yeah, you do gotta be a little crazy. You know what I'm saying?
I don't mind that.
At the right times. You know. But you know, the honeymoons thing, you know, fellas out there, if I had to give you any advice, man, I would suggest, you know, maybe I need to take some of the advice myself, but I would suggest that, you know, you just try to be conscious of what your lady needs, man. You know, just every once in a while, just think of something to do for her to make her feel like she's special. Because as long as she feel like she's special, like you good. That's your pass, baby. You know what I'm saying? That you can get out here and you can work and you can hustle and do what you gotta do. You know what I'm saying? And keep long enough, just long enough until you go take her on a trip somewhere or you know, buy her something nice or take her out to eat. You know what I mean? I think it's just what you're doing is you're just filling in the gaps. So, and that's just throwing like kindling, what's the word? Kindling in the fire. You know, little twigs and stuff, just to keep it up until you get around to throwing that log back on top.
And
you know
for
what I mean?
ladies, I suggest that you communicate to your man. Let him know what your issue is, where you feel like he's lacking, or what you may need. And
how does that help the man?
Because it helps the man
but my advice is I'm telling the men how to help the women.
Yeah, it'll awaken the man to know, okay, he is slacking. He needs to do this and that.
I don't know.
Yeah, like you have to communicate with your spouse. And,
but my thing is
in order to further this relationship.
I get that.
Because
See, but my advice...
You can't just walk around with a grudge like, dag, my man ain't doing this, my man ain't doing that. You got people around you and their man being like, you know, the ultimate husband, and you feel like you're not getting enough from your spouse or your significant other. Yeah, you have to communicate your needs. You have to communicate your wants, and I feel like
I agree.
And I feel like it's frustrating for a man not to adhere to like what your needs and wants are.
Okay, so if I had some advice for ladies out there, I would suggest, you know.
Yeah, go tell the ladies what you suggest.
I suggest that you do something special for a man, and you don't even have to buy nothing for a man. All you gotta do is, you know, tell a man like, yo, man, I appreciate everything you doing. Like, yo, I see you working hard. You know what I mean? I just want to know. I just want you to know I love you. Like that does like wonders for a man. You just don't know. That does like, you know, a man inside is doing backflips inside, and he'll go out here and bust these bricks with just a comment like that alone. You ain't got to cop him nothing, buy him nothing. You ain't got to rub his back and nothing. Just something simple as that is enough to keep a man going and say, you know what? I'm going to come home tonight and I'm going to draw you a nice bubble bath and I'm going to do something. You feel what I'm saying? Like, that's it. That's what men need sometimes. Stroking your ego.
It's like, yeah, stroking your ego, swallowing your pride, and just doing.
Yeah, exactly.
And just doing that is a good topic for our next episode.
What's that?
Just do.
Okay, we'll talk about just do next episode. And so, you know, we've been talking your heads off for a while. You know, I'm sure you ain't sleep no more. I'm pretty sure y'all awoke. And so we're going to bring this podcast to a close. You know, I'm going to thank everybody for joining us.
We welcome all comments,
all likes, of course, all likes.
This is our first episode, and we just hope to grow with you guys. And we hope to connect in ways to just bring everyone closer together.
Yeah,
because at the end of the day, we all need unity. You know, like we all are going through the same things. So, you know, we want to bring unity in a situation. We want to bring more love out here and understanding. So, you know, we just thank you, and please tell your friends to listen. You know,
yeah, whether you're at work, it doesn't matter where you at. You taking that jog around the block or whatever, man. Just throw the earbuds in and check out Two Woke Podcasts.
Thank you for listening.
Until next time. Peace.